Hello, this is Morten. I'm gonna introduce you to Lucidchart. Lucidchart is a very intuitive program made um, to create SketchUps or whatever you would like, diagrams and so on. It does all sorts of stuff with figures and their interaction with each other. Firstly, you need to be logged into your institutional account. If you are in education, you get this for free if your education has an agreement with Lucidpress and Lucidchart. I use this metrosol.dk address and my uni login, and you need to do that if you want the full package. Lucidchart, this Lucidchart, and it has a lot of tools. You can simply just drag in a box. You could change the colors. You can add text, text with an X. We are in England now. Good, and you can press an element, and you can drag arrows around, and they are attached to the element, so they will adjust if you pull it around. Also, you have properties for the elements like this, for instance, and you could do like that. You see, it doesn't really work that well, but you get the point. Lucidchart also has a sister program. It's called Lucidpress, and it's more like a newspaper program. So you see, there's a lot of elements here that you can drag around just like a newspaper. But I'll stick to the Lucidpress here. Great. Okay, Lucidpress is a full-featured program. You can see if I toggle these things around and I press Commando Z, or I could press this button as well, I'll simply just undo my actions. Also, you can right-click and arrange to bring in front or in back, and I can group elements so they will stick together like this. Good. So it really does everything you would expect from a normal program. Also, of course, there's collaboration. You can share this diagram with other people. Just punch in, give them a shareable link, or punch in their email address. The main problem with not having the full account is that you will get a watermark when exporting elements. Okay, so it does what you would expect of a full-fledged program. Let me just show you one thing. Setting up the page when you start is important. Pressing this button here, it shows all sorts of things that you can all sorts of formats that you can use. The standard is letter, but I use A3 or A4, which I think is a more European standard. And that can be important to do before you get too far in your sketching, if you want to print it. Also, you can set up colors in here. You can Google color schemes, and if you Google hexadecimal, you'll find some codes here, for instance, and these codes can be used. If you press this one, you can simply punch in the code here, and you will have you'll get a certain color. And hexadecimal codes are quite funny, but that's another case. Now I have the green. Where did it go? Here maybe? Oh, it's there. Great. So now it's in my scheme. I can quickly use the color, so that's why it makes sense to actually put these colors in to your diagram if you wanted to use them more often. Okay, so setting up page and colors. Then let me show some examples and show you how to export. So I use this quite much for sketching up my academic thoughts. I like paper and pencil, but I like this. This has some other affordances. You see, in my assignment, I'm working with this CMO configuration, context, mechanism, and output, and I've tried to put my context into all sorts of prototypes, just writing what I find and slowly understanding how things are working together and so on. And I've made lots of these prototypes, and I guess that only 2 or 3 of these are in a form that actually will make it to the final assignment. Here you see some kind of a waterfall model. Here I've actually copied a setup and tried to put it into my own context. So this is what I made, and this is just what I have been stealing from. And I like this, but it is definitely not done. More. And this is a setup of my method. Here's all the data that I have been generating, and each of these pink boxes represent a test run. And these test runs speak together, and they are made in the same way, but still they are kind of iteratively improving, because my experience with one of them will make me handle the next one differently. So that's why they're put up like this. Also, it's the thought that these experiences here should be analyzed theoretically, and then putting up a final, more in-depth research investigation of a test run at experiment time, where I can see how it all works. So these just prototypes showing my thoughts within my head, and working with these helps me understand what I'm doing, but also helps me illustrate to other people what's actually happening. Here's just another model of the same thing. I like this one better. And this is also a model of the same thing. This one does other stuff as well, because I have places where I can put in some methodological thoughts. So I've used shapes to say, okay, these clouds, they are about method, and the blue is about data, and the yellow is about the blue is about data boxes, data sets, and the yellow is about small parts of data. Yes, I'm not totally done. This is also a model trying to explain the same, and this is a model where I show, I've done a lot of mess in this. The yellow parts are the project parts, the blue parts are the data parts, the pink parts are the program theory that should be improved 4 times here, as you can see, and the blue part is the data, and the green is the theory. Also, to keep my focus straight, I put in a certain reference. It's simply just a picture, this one. So I can remember what the most important thing is in this investigation. It could be my research question. Yes, so this is an example of how it can be used for prototyping. So now we have come to the export part. I'll just take one of these. This one is actually one of the things that I would like to export. So just mark the things that I don't want, delete them, and go to File and Download As. And I'll take this page, which is method 5 page range. Just need to whatever. And because I want a transparent background, because I want this not to be white, but this to be transparent, I'm using the PNG. I could use the PDF as well. I'm not sure if I'm getting this exact page, because I don't know which page it is, but you'll get the point. Now it's generating the file. If I hit the right one, it would be this one. And I'm gonna open it. So you see it looks like this. The point with it being transparent is that you can see that it's not white in the back, it's gray. And I see I missed this arrow. So that's why I like the PNG. It can be used at all sorts of stuff. But there are other formats that are interesting. For instance, the SVG it means that it's vector graphics, so you can pull it out without it losing data. If you're creating large posters, you would use the SVG. Okay, great. It was some examples of how to sketch in Lucidpress. Remember that you need to be logged into an institutional account if you want the full featured version. Also, that I didn't explain about Lucidpress, that is also very intuitively to work with. It's like InDesign, but it's just online and collaborative, and I like that. So, hope you enjoyed.